Hey you guys, welcome back to the Story Knife with Tia Rosita, and happy November. November is my favorite month of the year, not just because it's my birthday month, but because it's Thanksgiving. And Thanksgiving is such a special holiday to me because of how I was raised in Anchorage, Alaska, and how my mom introduced us to Thanksgiving, which was a little different than how we learned it normally in school. My mom threw all that away, and we never even focused on that. We actually focused on having gratitude. And the Story Knife and Sitio Films take this opportunity to thank you so much for joining us and being a part of our show. So if you like our show, please subscribe, hit the like button, share it with your friends, watch the video over and over and over so I can get more views. I'm just kidding. But honestly, thank you so much. It is part of our mission to have gratitude, and what a great time of year to show that for Thanksgiving. And in honor of that, I'm gonna show you my favorite cocktail that I like to make for every Thanksgiving party that I throw, or even if I'm invited to somebody's home, I like to bring a sangria. So this is my version of a traditional sangria. What we're gonna do is we're gonna start with simply muddling some citrus and some berries. Now, I prefer to use holiday fruits. Like, you can use whatever fruit that you have in the refrigerator. In fact, any fruit will do, like berries or pears, or, I mean, even if you had something that was not even in season, which is blueberries, those all work. But for me, I want to encourage you to use what is in season. And that's what I have going on here. I have some citrus grapefruit from California. I have some blackberries and some grapes. I love putting pear in my sangria, and of course, apple. These are all fruits that you can find in your local market, and they will actually be at a really good price and affordable because it's a seasonal fruit. So what we're gonna do is begin taking the Story Knife, and we're going to just slice a few of this grapefruit. A lot of people like to do orange juice, which is fine. I mean, traditionally people do. But for me, it's like the sangria is already so sweet. So if I can counter it with something just a little bit more tart, I find that it balances better. So we're just gonna place those beautiful grapefruits in there. I have some lime. Got a few of these. And some blackberries and some grapes. And the reason why I like to do grapes is because brandy goes in as a topper, and brandy is made from grape. And so is wine, so why not incorporate that? So we're just gonna take a spoon, a wooden spoon, and we're gonna muddle this together. And what this does is it releases a lot of the juices, and it allows it to have an aroma in your sangria, especially because, you know, the sangria sits overnight or for at least 3 days, and boom, all of this marinates beautifully, and it just gives your sangria like hints of fruit, and it balances out the sweetness. So the next thing we do is we're going to add wine. So what I like to use is just a simple Spanish wine, and we're gonna do half and half. So I'm just gonna pour this whole thing in here. Why not, right? It's the holidays. Of course, we wanna get a little turned up, but we wanna not be too turned up during the holidays, but we need to enjoy ourselves. And then this is pomegranate juice. Now, I've tried grape juice before, and I've tried other types of juice, but pomegranate juice really is the juice to use. So if you can find that, which I'm sure you can, it's especially popular during this time of year, use pomegranate juice. And what we also need is some OJ. So I have some fresh, organic, pressed orange juice. You can press the orange juice yourself, or you can just buy it, and that's what I've got here. We're gonna do about a 1/4 cup. That's a little bit more than a quarter cup, but I mean, really, who's counting? So we have this incorporated. We'll stir it up a little bit. Stir, stir, stir. And the next thing we're gonna add is some spice. Now, I like my sangria to be a little bit spicy, and some people don't. Some people prefer not to, but I think it just adds a little bit more depth. So what I have here is clove. So we're gonna drop like 3 or 4 in here. And I have not just any cinnamon, but I have Mexican cinnamon. And we call this canela in Mexico. And it just, I don't know, cinnamon to me, I love just having cinnamon as a scent in my home during the holidays. It just speaks the holidays to me. So we're gonna add that in there. And our final ingredient is a brandy. Some people like to put it afterwards, but I find that it's okay. I always just put like a quarter cup. And we're gonna stir this all together. As I mentioned before, I love Thanksgiving. It is really my favorite holiday of the year. It even goes before my birthday. And I have to just credit my mom for giving me the inspiration to love Thanksgiving, because my mom made Thanksgiving about having gratitude and being thankful. And I really have to say that, as a child, we grew up with a single mom, and, we didn't have a lot of things. We grew up, really, honestly, with no toys. I was the child who only had, one present for Christmas. But my mom gave us such gratitude and told us to be very thankful that those things really weren't a focus for us at all, really. And I have so much thanks for my mom for doing that. And what she would do basically is talk about how we have to be blessed with what we have, even through our trials and our tribulations. And it'd be funny because I could remember my mother, after we were done eating our Thanksgiving meal, we would sit around and we would light a candle. And then when it came our turn, we had to tell at least one thing that we were thankful for or more. And I could always remember just being so nervous because as a child, you're kind of nervous being put on the spot. And especially when you're asked to, speak out what you're thankful for. It felt a little awkward. But as I grew up and now that I'm older, it was actually a tool for me to learn to be thankful. And now I can say what I'm thankful for. Even when I'm going through the hardest times of my life, which we are, as the world is changing before our eyes, we have to remain thankful through it all and have that gratitude in what you have. So I want to encourage you today to change your perspective on how you see things. So what I've cut up here is some apple, and I'm going to place that on top with some pear. So this is basically the sangria. It's done. All you have to do is cover it with a saran wrap and put it in your refrigerator, and you can let it sit for up to 3 days. In fact, the longer you let it sit, the better. But to show you, I have made a personal sangria, and I'm gonna demonstrate to you how I like to serve it. So I think a really nice party glass always makes a drink look nice, and it always makes a drink feel festive. So why not use these type of bold flutes? You could use a regular glass if you want, really, honestly. It really doesn't matter, okay? You can even use a plastic cup, okay? Let's talk real talk. Who wants to do dishes afterwards? Like, I really don't. So this is what I've done. This is my personal sangria, meaning for me only. And you could actually do it this way. All you need to do is just follow the simple directions that I did, which is half wine, half juice, your muddled fruits, and your spices, and That's all you do. So I'm gonna take this and pour it in this shaker. I'm gonna pour it over my sink because I be the type to spill stuff. Trust me. I mean, you have no idea. So we're gonna shake this up. This is when all your friends get really excited. They think you're being bartender. And let's face it, you are being bartender. I'm gonna pour it into my glass. I mean, that looks so beautiful already. It's nice and frothy. And since we already have the brandy is traditional in sangria and it's what you should use, but I've already put that in my batch. But what I like to do is top it off with a Cointreau. Now, Cointreau is nice because it has the orange liqueur flavor. And so it just lifts the orange note in there and it makes it extra special. So we have that. And then, of course, we want to garnish it. Like I always encourage everybody, if you're making a cocktail, to garnish your drinks because it just makes it look all the more festive and pretty. So I'm just going to throw some blackberries in there and top it with a lime. And there you have it. Rosita's Holiday Thanksgiving Sangria. I'm gonna taste it now. Perfecto. So remember, Thanksgiving is also about giving. And so if you can and if you're able, please remember to give on Thanksgiving. Go to your local food bank or donate your time to serve food because giving back is actually better than receiving. So God bless, and I hope you have a happy Thanksgiving. And from Sitio Films and Story Knife, salud. Fantastic. We might need to put some tequila in here. This is really, really good.